Brophy mounts, made in the USA, installed. I've got a 2012 F-150, and I'll just note a couple things about installation and how they work. So on the directions here, take note of this here. You need 2 inches under here, from here to here, and I only have less than 2 fingers. And the way that affects things, and the reason they say that, is because of this. Let me get in here. So you don't have a whole lot of room here to put your nut and for the threads to come through, and so when you start to get tension on this, hold on a second, gotta get some more leverage, get this in focus. There you go. So when you mount your trailer, it's going to pull up from the bottom of this hook on the hole there. And what that's going to do is it's going to push this inwards. And when that pushes inwards, it's also pushing in here, which is going to dent the inside of your bed there, which is fine. Fine for me. This is an old truck. Bed's already a little rusty in the corners. But that is the reason for why they say you need 2 inches to allow room for those bolts, and it's really hard to get the nuts on with the way they designed it if you don't have the 2 inches. Now I used a 14mm and 11/16. The 11/16 bolt is right under here, nut, and the 14mm is there. Looking good so far. You can see they're tilting down a little bit, but when I get that tension on here, it's going to pull up, and watch the movement here. It's going to pull up all the way until that guy touches down there. Now some people have said or tried or do put a piece of wood or something in here, attach it, maybe epoxy it on. Now you can adjust this distance here by screwing this in and out and then tightening the lock nut, but I have it pretty much maxed that way. Plus the directions say that you're going to want to have this at a 90-degree angle, and mine, like I said, are tilted out, so once I get that tension on there, it's going to bring this inwards back to a 90, and so I have the feet adjusted that way. Now as far as how far and what are the measurements, how close on a 2012 can you get to the end? So this is 8.5 by 11-inch paper, right? So right to the very end of the bed, so about 11.5 inches to the edge of here, or easier, lined up with this, is as far as I could go before this guy would touch this angle here instead of the flat. And that's really the only reason for the placement and how wide you can get these. Now at the front, you grab my measuring paper here. Well, it's about 8.5 inches from the cab here to this surface. And you can see here it's about 1 inch off these stake pockets. And that's the same reason, because if you go any more far forwards, you start to hit this angle here instead of the flat part. So I'm taking a look at this bed and I'm seeing some things that I hadn't noticed before with bed liner in or whatever, camper shell on. If there's these rib nuts that are already placed in 3 spots, it would be kind of cool if they made a mounting system that you could thread those and then attach this guy into those. That would be cool. Or if Brophy made a new mount for this version of truck, because the beds stay pretty similar over the years on the inside, except now of course there's aluminum. I chose to do these instead of the frame rail type because you have these super long turnbuckles that come down and your truck is I don't know, it just seems weird with those floating around, and With these, I want to be careful, maybe put some padding on here so my kids don't bang their heads. So if you have any questions about this install, I'll be putting the camper on here shortly today and testing it out. But give me a holler. You can text me or email me. Just send me a message and I'll get back to you.